Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV here from the Invest 2025. And now I have one of the largest silver producers of the world here with me. First Majestic Silver, and Keith Neumeyer, the CEO, is here with us. Good morning, Keith. Great to see you.
Yeah, good morning. Great seeing you again as well.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. I heard already you brought some silver ounces with you. You are sold out within 1 hour.
Yeah, surprisingly, we had it wasn't surprising. We had a lineup of people looking to buy our ounces, which is really nice to see.
Fantastic.
First Majestic is pretty well recognized here in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And we love coming here every year and letting our shareholders, take advantage of, buying our ounces.
Fantastic. I bought also at PDAC. Thank you very much again for the nice price. I love it. Yeah. So First Majestic Silver. Your stock had a little hit. Yesterday it rebounds, which is well. So first quarter, what was going on?
Well, fundamentally, the first quarter was a record quarter on all metrics that we measure our financials. Strong balance sheet, over $400 million in the bank, which is a record for us. To have that much capital on our balance sheet is pretty exciting. 7.7 million ounces of silver produced in the quarter, free cash flow of around $50 million. So we're making money, and the mines are doing great. Los Gatos is adding a lot of profitability to the business, of course. That was the mine that we bought and closed in January. Q2 should even be better, we're expecting, because we'll have a full quarter from Gatos in Q2. San Dimas is looking really good. Santa Elena has been great as well. Tata is a little bit behind schedule, but we expect it'll improve as well.
Okay, super, fantastic. So how is the financial situation looking with the company? What is your debt situation, cash, etc.? What's going on there?
Yeah, well, as I said, we've got over $400 million in the bank. The debt, we don't really, we've got leases and so on, like $20, $30 million in leases. I'd call that debt. Okay. We do have a convertible of $230 million. That's convertible at over $16 US per share. I don't really call that debt, but some people do. But so you're really, we're, if you minus all that out, we're pretty strong.
Okay, super. So that means no net debt, like?
No.
That's important. I love that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So you said already about your mines, everything looks really in a good shape. Things are really working well. The Q2 might be even better. Then, of course, we got from many of our viewers via YouTube the question, what's going on with Jer Canyon?
Yeah, we didn't explore as much as we wanted to in 2024. We had a bit of a challenge with the contractor there. We're going to we have now a new contractor there for drilling, starting in the next couple of weeks. We're planning, I think, about 18,000 meters of drilling at Jer Canyon for 2025. So we're very optimistic about that operation. It's got 3.5 million ounces of gold at over 5 grams. That mill is sitting there. It's worth north of $400 million to rebuild that mill today. So it's a very strategic asset for us. We're getting a lot of shareholders say, hey, turn it back on. You should get it up and running again. We're looking at all options right now.
Okay, so but the plan is still to really bring it back in production.
It will be back into production. It could be maybe a joint venture. It could be ourselves 100%. Who knows? We're looking at all options, as I said.
Okay, super.
People should look for news, because we will be coming out with news over the next 12 months regarding Jer Canyon.
Okay, super. Where do you see challenges for this year in your operation? Do you see anything which might need a little bit more attention?
Well, it is mining, and
mining is always an adventure.
And we are dealing with Mother Nature, so mining always has surprises. Look what happened in 2023. When we lost the water well at Tata, and we had to reduce production there, and it finally got resolved. In mid-2024, it took us a year to resolve that issue. So, and that was a complete surprise. We didn't expect that the water well was going to collapse. And but everything's looking really good right now. San Dimas is increasing. We had a great Q1, end of the year on a good note as well. Santa Elena had a record production year last year, breaking 10 million ounces of production. Los Gatos is currently above budget, which is really nice to see. So, assuming things stay the way they are, our revenues should be about $1 billion in 2025.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's
Super.
a lot. Yeah.
What is percentage-wise now silver in your production? What are the rest of the metals?
Yeah, so in Q1 we had 57% of our revenues in silver.
Oh, so you're a really pure silver company in that sense.
Yeah, we're the purest in the space of the big players.
Yeah.
And gold is about 30%, and the rest is lead and zinc.
Okay, super, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the silver market, because I know you are also silver bull as I am. And we had an analyst meeting here, and it was really interesting, I must say. The guys are longer term already at $300-400 for silver. I wouldn't go that far, but what is your prognosis, let's say, for the next 2-3 years? One thing, but on the other hand, how do you see the structure in the silver market? Because we are in the 7th year of a deficit, and we are still wondering from where does the silver come?
Well, it's good. Good question. I was the guy that coined the phrase "triple-digit silver." About 10 years ago, I was the first one to say that, and it's now being copied by others, which is nice to see. I'm glad I'm no longer the lone wolf, because a decade ago when I predicted $100 silver, people laughed at me, and I think I'm going to be right. I think we'll see $5,000 gold and at least $100 silver, probably north of $100 silver by 2030 is my prediction. When it comes to the deficits, there's really no mines out there that are coming online. There's a couple potentials, but it takes so long to permit a mine. I looked at a mining company's presentation a few months ago, and they did an analysis of how long it takes to get a mine up and running. It was 18 years on average from the time discovery occurs to the time actually producing metal gets done. And that's a long time. That's a lot of money, a lot of patience from management, a lot of patience from investors, and you got to go through different cycles, permitting and financing. It's a big challenge to get a mine up and running, in particular in today's government environment, where governments are really putting the screws to the mining industry and really causing us lengthy permitting periods. If the governments would get on side with the mining sector to reduce the amount of permitting time, it would incentivize the mining sector to bring some mines online a lot quicker. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, but I don't see any way that deficit can be filled other than higher prices.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, and I think also still, if we even would get in 5 years larger mines, the deficit is still there, 200 million ounces around. This is not diminishing. So the big question is, will we run out of physical silver in 3 or 4 years? Because then there's really nothing more left. And because I could only imagine Whistler Discovery, those would be 2 large projects for the next 4 or 5 years probably, but there's nothing else.
Yeah. And we're, for every 1 ounce of gold we're being mined worldwide by the mining sector, only 7 ounces of silver are being mined.
It's nothing.
Yeah, and the current trading ratio is, I think, as of yesterday, 103 to 1. And that just makes
no sense.
It makes no sense at all. So, I don't know what the solution is going to be. We need higher prices, because, if you did see triple-digit silver tomorrow, it would allow the mining companies to mine lower grades, right? Because it would bring a lot of, like we have cutoff grades, in each of our mines because the economics. So we have different cutoff grades for every mine. So under certain grams per ton, it becomes uneconomic. So we leave that silver behind because we can't make money doing it. But all of a sudden you've got $100 silver. We can go back to some of the current uneconomic areas and mine some of those ounces. So that would help a little bit. But, it takes time, because then we have to go back
and we do not have to develop.
It wouldn't happen overnight.
Exactly. Super. So we both agree silver $100, that should be really possible, and we will see that soon. And I think you guys do a great job at your company at First Majestic, and please bring Jer Canyon in production, because the world needs the gold and the silver.
Well, look, we'll keep people report, up to date on what we're going to do there. And but look, whatever happens, 2025 looks like it's going to be a fantastic year for us. At $1 billion revenue, assuming metal prices stay the way they are today, we'll have about $200 million in free cash flow for this year. Our treasury will likely grow even bigger than it is right now. So that's pretty exciting.
Super, fantastic. One last question. Where do you see the average AISC price in your group?
Yeah, we're about 15.
Wow, that's okay.
In that range, 15,
nice.
16. Yeah.
Super. So healthy margins, I would call it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's nice to have a little bit of gold too, because we're making decent profits on the gold as well.
Super. Fantastic. Keith, I would say keep it going. Thanks for taking the time and stopping by,
Right.
and I wish you well.
And thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Keith Neumeyer from First Majestic Silver, the CEO. You heard it, things are going well, and the first quarter was really okay, really fine. The Q2 will be even better, and honestly, I like it. $15 to $16 AISC group-wide, that is fantastic, especially in the light of massively rising silver prices, which will start when silver goes above $36. We see immediately prices above $45.50, and now think about the margin. So that looks all really good. Check out the company. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Invest Stuttgart 2025.